It's a very murky day tonight where I am. It's gonna probably rain again. So the lights are on. Hopefully it will not be too much of a glare with the books and everything. So let's have a look at what I've colored in January. January seems to have been a little bit more productive than the December was, I think. Many reasons for that, but let's have a look. Maybe we can start from the smallest book. So I did a page in Fantasy Faces. This is by Hannah Lynn, and I did this, what I call a snow queen. She might not be, but you know, she's wintry. And I decided to go for purples. So this is how she looks like. I'm really happy how she turns out. I went for line art as opposed to grayscale because I prefer not gray on the face. So I will color maybe some grayscale as well, but I prefer line art. Actually, recently I decided I'm not a massive fan of grayscale at all. So here we go. Things change, it seems. So yeah, here's my Hannah Lynn page. Really happy how she turned out. I used markers as a base. Pretty much everywhere, I think. Oh no, I think it's pencil background, but it's very light, so it's probably hard to see. It wasn't a big space to cover, so I used pencil. I don't think I would go for pencil with there's a huge background because I have no patience for that. But it was just like little bits. So it's a pencil background. Her face is based in marker as usual. I use Pro Markers, skin tones, because I prefer them to Huhu skin tones. And then her hair is pencil, and there is silver gel pen, which I just love silver gel pen. So here it is. The pencils I used are polychromos. Majority of the time I use polychromos. So yeah, Hannah Lynn page. I talk a little bit more about what I've used because you guys have asked. So I don't want to bore you to death, but I try to talk a little bit more. I'm usually like really fast. So I done my first page in this little book with snow globes that I have from Hachette Art Therapy series. It's a beautiful book, and I did a wintry snow globe with this little snowman in here. And again, I used in the background, I used watercolor pencil, and it's reflecting because it's a silver gel pen again all around in here. And the rest inside the globe is done with pencils. Again, because it's a small book, small surfaces, obviously a lot of white gel pen for the snow of any description, and the rest is polychromos. So yeah, really happy with that. Such a cool book. Maybe I'll do, I definitely want to do like a lot more, but maybe I'll pick one this month as well, so I have more than one in this little book. So yeah, I'm not gonna attempt because I'm gonna butcher the beautiful language, but the artist is, because I forgot to say, Lydia Kostanek, maybe. Hopefully I say that right. Yeah, beautiful book. So I've done one in here, which I'm happy because I didn't have any pages there. I have colored in Enchanted Winter, one page. It's my second page in here, and I colored this. I've got a thing for Snow Queens this month, isn't it? There is a lot of watercolor. I hope you can see it reflecting in the little wisps in there. It's iridescent green, I think. It's quite a cheap watercolor actually. Background is marker, And on top of everything, again, I am not sure if that shows, but there is like a very faint iridescent sheen on it, and that's a face highlighter, believe it or not, from my good old days when I was actually using more highlighters than I do now. I do not use a lot now. It's harder to get away with strong highlighters when you get older, isn't it? Sadly. So yeah, I went for greens because I just wanted to vary a little bit of the winter palette. It's everything else apart from background. I said it's marker. Everything else is also marker based. I use Hoohoo markers for everything apart from skin tones, which would always be pro markers. Yeah, that's it. I'm really happy with that one. Continue to enjoy the Brummelers pages a lot. So then I picked up the coloring book too from Annie Wahlqvist. I had a one page there, I wasn't really happy with it, so I decided to do another one, and I'm really happy with how this one turned out. So I feel like I potentially redeemed myself a little bit. So I colored this beautiful dino. I think it's a dinosaur, isn't it? I think so. Yeah. So the snow is done in pencil and obviously outlined with white gel pen, and the constellations are done with white gel pen as well. Not everything else. The dinosaur is based in marker, again, alcohol marker, and shaded on top with pencils. And this background is done with soft pastels, not pan pastels, just regular soft pastels. And to achieve this kind of mottled effect, which I like because it gives a little bit of a texture, which that's what I was going for, you can use cotton bud, or I think, well, there you go. There's one cotton bud in here, which I used for something else. Cotton bud, and you obviously do your little scrapings of the pastels if you don't have pan pastels. I don't at the moment. I probably will have later, but not right now. And just dip the Q-tip and do a very small circular moves around to spread it, and it gives that little kind of mottled, slightly mottled effect, which I really, really like. I use that a lot in my backgrounds. It's cheap and cheerful way to achieve this type of background, which again, I like. And there is a little bit of gold watercolor paint on the dinosaur, as you can see. I like always to do, when I've got like something like scales or something like that, I like to put a little bit of gold watercolor or gold ink as well on occasion. But this time it's a watercolor. And yeah, I'm really happy with how this turned out. Really love this page, and this book is awesome. And well, once we were on the Brummeler, let's have a look at my other the Brummeler page. So I called it again in Zodiac Witches. I think I kind of selected this book as my eventually book to finish. I don't think I'll finish this book this year, but eventually, out of all the Brummeler's book, this should be first to eventually finish. And I colored Capricorn, which is, where is she? Here she is. Really, really love how she turned out. Everything is in here based in marker, including the background, shaded on top with pencils. Again, pencils are polychromos, including shading of her face. And there is gold watercolor on the stars, silver gel pen on her tattoos, and there is a little bit on the background, which, like I said, is marker, but on top there is a little bit of sheen of gold ink. spread, no, sorry, not gold ink, iridescent, what you call them, iridescent gelato, yeah, the gold one, just kind of buffed on top a little bit around the edges, just to give it a little bit of extra shine. It's not really that shiny, but kind of like I like the effect. So yeah, really happy with how her face turned out in terms of shading, of course. Again, I use Pro Marker as a skin base. I just prefer the skin tones, and they more toned down and not as bright orange as majority of whose skin tones are. I just find them orange, basically different shades of orange. And in this case, I gave her kind of terracotta blush because of kind of matched her hair and everything else, but that's different to the base skin tone. I don't mind giving my characters, let's call them, a little bit of kind of terracotta or orange blush, or sometimes orange lipstick maybe, but I don't want the skin tone to be bright orange as a base, so I prefer Pro Markers. And yeah, so here she is, and I really love how she turned out. I think I've got like 6 pages maybe in here. Okay, so let's have a dragon for a change in here. So I colored in Dragon Dreams by R.J. Hampson. I'm coloring in a second set. So in Dragon Dreams, the 2 sets are identical. They now, in R.J. Hampson's books, are a little bit different, but this one's still identical to sets. And I color in the second one. Where is my little dragon? Again, I haven't marked the pages. I always forget to do that. Okay, he, well, maybe it is a she, who knows. Here's the dragon. Let's put it that way. So I really love how everything turned out, apart from the background. So I started, you might see, I started to do a background in here, like with a marker, and I did not like it immediately, didn't like it, like just a bit in here. Changed my mind and used a soft pastel for the rest in a slightly different tone. And I couldn't cover, obviously. I tried to cover in this green patch, but obviously it didn't completely. But I still love how it turned out, and I love the golden dragon. Just so pretty. This illustration is just awesome, just so pretty. And yeah, I really enjoy this little dragon, and I love the colors. The kind of, well, they're not completely tea roses, but they're quite close to. Everything is alcohol marker base, apart from the background, which is soft pastel, and again polychromos on top, and obviously got watercolor again. So yeah, that's my dragon. I think I've got 3 dragons in here now. And since we were on a Capricorn, let's get to my Kevin Teo book. And I did a Capricorn in here as well, which is this one. Love it, absolutely love it. I think out of this book, which technically I finished, but I have 3 in the other version of this book and the rest in here, and I'm gonna give away the other version, and I don't think I'm gonna keep I'm not terribly sentimental, so I don't want, even if I color a book in the future, for sure I will keep some of them, but I don't think I'm gonna keep all of them. Not that I'm planning to finish that many books, because I'm way too slow for that. But yeah, so I gave away the other book. I don't have it anymore, and I didn't feel like I need to rip out the pages necessarily. So eventually I will recolor the 3, but this one is one of my favorites, if not my favorite, I think. I just love the colorway, and this bright yellow background, it just did it for me. It's a strong color, but I really love how the Capricorn stands out on it, and obviously it has huge amount of glitter, well, huge amount. It has a lot of glitter on its tail, but I'm not sure. Oh, there we go. You can possibly see now a little bit. So I used the glitter watercolor on top, and then obviously I sprayed with the fixative for that to stick a little bit better. But there is like a little bit of glitter detached in the spine of the book, I think. But yeah, I really love how the Capricorn turned out. Yeah, so that was my zodiac colorings. I did a little page in this new book, so this is new, and I didn't buy the other diminutive scenes because I just didn't want to. But winter I wanted. I was again eternally on my eternal hunt for books that are more winter than Christmas. So I was hoping, because I've seen some samples from it which were more winter than Christmas, but it's still a lot of Christmas in here. I marked some for coloring, but I didn't mark my finished page. There we go. So I chose this one. It's just a very simple page, but it was fun to color. The background is done in, I believe, watercolor pencil. I think so, yeah. And then everything else is marker based and shaded with pencils, and the snow is only pencil. So yeah, really happy with how that turned out. It's just like a very quick, I mean, for me, very quick. I'm not very quick and faff around with all my pages forever. So that probably took me like 2 evenings anyway, but for me, that's quick. And obviously not like whole evenings. Just a little bit time after work. So yeah, happy with that. And I've got my first page in it colored. Since we are on winter, let's have a look at a couple more winter pages that I did. So I picked up, I wanted to give some love to my Coloring Heaven magazines, so I colored in the Junior. I think that's from last year or maybe the year before, and last Christmas special, which is really good. And in here I had one coloring in here, but I colored this page again. I was looking for winter, not Christmas, and there are a few pages there in here that kind of qualify. So I picked this one, and I'm just insanely happy with how she turned out. Such a pretty illustration. So obviously all that oval kind of frame, I did it. It wasn't there. It was just a girl. But yeah, love it, and love the palette, which is like really limited, just gray and two shades of blue, because background is different shades different shade of blue, and the grays and blacks. And yeah, really cool. I love it. Really nice book, this one. And in Christmas special, there are a couple of pages at the end which are more just winter, and I colored this one in a kind of a weird color palette. But again, I was in the mood for weird color palette. So here it is, and it's alcohol marker based again, apart from the actual snow bits, which are just polychromos pencil. And yeah, I really like it. I don't know, maybe I'll try to do one more. I've got 3 pages now in this issue, which is, you know, which is great. And if you watched my In Focus video, the first one for this year, you would know that we were talking about Visan On. I invite you to watch her. She released her new books, which one of them is this one, but there were like 3. So all the flip throughs are in this video if you want to see of all the books, and I have almost all of her books. So I colored in Enamored book 2. That's the only one that I have from Enamored series. I had such a fun with those 2 that at some stage I'll probably buy the other 3, but not yet. So this book is full of ladies and dragons, which was very kind of on point for January, since, you know, we color dragons in January usually. And I colored one here, and I colored this one. I think she's, because all the illustrations have titles, so I think this one's called Dracolina. Again, limited color palette, and I had so much fun. I really love how she turned out. I mean, her faces, vis and ongles draws are just beautiful, and they're different. Somebody commented on the In Focus video saying that they appreciate that the faces are different. It's not the same face on every single girl, which I agree, it's preferable. I get bored very quickly with the faces that look exactly the same, even if the rest is different. So yeah, this one's beautiful, and I love the colors. It's, again, alcohol marker based and pencils on top, and teeny bit of watercolor, gold watercolor. So yeah, so that's one. And the second one is from the new release books, Nightingales. This is book one, and I colored for Jamie's hashtag portrait year of color, and it was girl with blue hair. And I've got Juno here with blue hair. She's just so beautiful. I used, as you can see, a lot of watercolor on the peacock's tail, and it's all kind of blue. So I wanted, obviously, the peacock to be blue, green, blue kind of thing, and her hair also blue, but I didn't want them to be the same shade, and I was worried that they're gonna clash, to be honest, badly. But actually I think that works. So it was kind of a risky decision, if you like, but I like it. I don't know, I like it. I think it works. So her skin tone and her dress are based in alcohol marker. Everything else though is pencils, because on feathers I wasn't sure that marker would kind of look good. So it's just on the bits, those bits of the feathers there is marker, but the rest is just pencils, which took me forever to do her hair in pencil. Polychromos again used. Yeah, it's hard work. Pencils on Amazon paper is hard work. Not impossible, as you can see, but it's hard work. And I also did my very first page in Crystal Vogel's book, the winter one, and that was a mission. So where is it? Here. So I did this one. Again, was trying to look for winter but not Christmas, and I love how it turned out, but gosh, it was a adventure. So I did the background in this book with pencils, and I used Black Widows, and I put one layer, then I didn't like it. I tried to add another layer of slightly different but complementing color. I didn't like it, and I was so frustrated because it was just not blending well. I really regretted that I didn't use my polychromos. I was just frustrated. I'm not sure if it's a reflection on Black Widow's pencils. It just may be the combination with this book. They was just not layering, and my preferred style of coloring is layering, not huge amount of layers. I mean, I've seen some wonderful colorists that put hours and hours to do like one kind of thing. Yeah, I'm not that patient, but it's layering that I like more than anything else. So yeah, I just did not like how they layered on the on this paper. So I struggled really badly with Blue Widows, what I'm talking about, Black Widows. So I did initially I did the background and those blue little, what they call star children, I think. The Sternenkinder. I hope I pronounced that correctly. I'm not sure. But yeah, so I done them with Black Widows, and I really struggled, was so frustrated, and then I switched to polychromos for everything else. Then I decided that the background is unacceptable and I covered it with a black acrylic marker, and then obviously added the snowflakes and the little bits of the stars. That's how they were drawn, with those little kind of lines coming out of them. So try to replicate that, and I like it much better, although the black background was not the plan. The plan was dark blue background, but yeah, the Black Widows really did not rise to the challenge, I think, in this particular book. So I'm going to try again somewhere else. But in this particular illustration, I got really frustrated with those pencils. And even on the blue little star children, the blending is not, I mean, I'm not satisfied with the blending. I much prefer polychromos, so yeah, we will see. I tried to use them because I had the Black Widows forever, and they kind of in a place where they're not easily seen, and I just never used them. So I tried to use them more, but this one was a struggle. But I'm really happy with how it looks in the end. But the process was much more enjoyable once I switched to polys. So yeah, that's that one. And my very last is Mythogoria. So again, I picked up Frozen Nightmares because I haven't colored in this one yet. And although I dislike clowns, for some reason, I really wanted to color this one. And I went for, like, basically, as you can see, for high contrast. So cool and pastel background with really vibrant clown in the middle. And I like it, yeah. I need to get better in coloring crystals. Yeah, those are like more like ice shards, I felt. But I don't know. I have to find a better way of doing that. So they're all right in here, but they could be better, I think. So yeah, I need to come up with a better way of doing it. And there is some iridescent watercolor as well, as you can see. But I really like the end result. I was hoping in this book in particular for more, what you call it? Like, I don't know, ice castles and some ghosts maybe lingering in ice castles. Maybe some scary yeti or, you know, something like that. Some other things than guts. And there's a lot of guts in here. Zombies. I'm not a fan of zombies. There is a lot of innards. Which is a shame. Like, see? Like, plenty of innards and brain matter and eyeballs. So, yeah. Still, there are quite a few pages that I really like, so I will continue to color in this book. And that's it for January. What you think? Did you have a favorite? Did you like any of it? I hope that you found something interesting, and yeah, let me know if this time I talk too much. Who knows? Maybe this time I talk too much about what's in the, you know, what I used in terms of supplies and how things were done. I'll try to say a little bit more about it because, like I said, you guys asked for a little bit more, but I want to strike the balance because equally when I watch videos, I don't like, you know, when I'm watching 20 minutes spent on one page. So I don't want to rattle for for a long time either. So let me know what would be the right balance. Thank you for watching, and I will see you shortly. Bye.